And welcome back to Frederick Douglass. Apologies for the dropped connection. A Bronco 8-point lead. Just over 6 minutes left in this first half as Rhodes will handle up top and Henry Clay forcing a turnover.
Their half-court trap has been really effective. Douglass has not handled it well. It's created turnovers, but they have been unsuccessful converting it off the turnovers. They've mainly been dead ball turnovers.
And we'll see what Henry Clay can do here as they trailed after one by 5. And they're now within 6 as the basket goes in.
Tamia Wade, she is a young freshman as well. I remember watching her in the middle school championships, was very impressed with her. Saw her early this fall.
Underneath, and that's going to be Gregonis. Excuse me, that's Baker that put it in. So Kate Baker, her first field goal. Partially blocked by Rhodes on the Stone turnaround. As Rhodes stops and starts, and the first Henry Clay foul of this quarter. And a technical, looks like on Frederick Douglass.
I don't know what happened there. One referee stopped it and called a foul.
DJ Moberly, as you see, seeking some sort of an explanation from the official after Rhodes was assessed a technical. And that should be a personal foul as well, correct?
Yes.
So at the foul line, be Henry Clay as they try to whittle this 8-point deficit down to a half dozen.
Plays like this can sometimes be run killers for the team that's in the lead. Let's see how Douglass responds to this technical, because it's going to be 2 shots in the ball for Henry Clay.
And the shot off from Stone. So Clay possession.
(27-20). The tempo of the game to me favors Henry Clay, but they have to get conversions. They force turnovers of Frederick Douglass in the half court, but again, Douglass has been able to set up their defense, and it's been formidable for Henry Clay to get a good look versus Frederick Douglass.
Well, there's still some discussion at the scores table after the technical. And possession now back to Henry Clay as Coach Moberly appears content with the explanation. Van Meter will inbound and pitch it back to Sutton. Now Miller slices in the lane. Now Van Meter downhill and airmailed that layup.
There's a lot of contact, but no foul by the officials right there.
Now Bennett, nice pass underneath. It was fielded by Maxwell and a Henry Clay foul.
What happens is after you have a technical foul, referees usually tighten up their whistle. That looked like a good play by Stone on the ball, but because of the previous commotion that we had a couple of plays earlier, they'd start to call it a little bit closer, and I believe that's what happened right there.
Off the mark from Maxwell, 5'9" junior, and she is another big body that the Broncos can rely on. A lot of depth in the post.
With Darrington, Knowles, and Maxwell, that's a front line that is second to none here in the 11th region.
Floated back in play, guarded and fielded by Wade of the Blue Devils. Wade for a long one. And Bennett goes high for that rebound. And the arrow will actually belong to Henry Clay. So Henry Clay possession. Wade steps into a three and gets it to go.
It's a big shot for the freshman right there.
Wade with 5. I've got her for a 7th grader.
Well,
might have to clarify that.
No, you're probably right. I'm just not used to seeing a 7th grader get varsity minutes.
And a foul in the open floor on Knowles after the steal.
Wow, that's even more impressive. Wade being a 7th grader. Again, I just watched her in the middle school championships. So that wasn't last year. That was just a couple of months ago. Here in Lexington, they play middle school in early August for girls basketball. And her team was in the championship game. I want to say she may have played for Morton Middle School.
Yeah, Tamia Maid, 5'5", 7th grader, season high 10 versus Scott County last week. As Henry Clay will have one more at the foul line. And Sutton missed a golden opportunity there as it's going to pinball out of bounds, but stay with the Blue Devils.
This is what Coach Moberly was talking about. He said his team sometimes would go into mental lapses and just lose their focus. And he was looking for 4 quarters of solid basketball, and they've kind of went into a lull here.
Van Meter, she's not gun shy.
She's not gun shy, and we knew she wasn't going to miss too many if left open.
27-26 as Knowles drives, did everything but score. And a Henry Clay foul whistled on Johnson.
Very impressed with Knowles, what she's able to do in the open court. She can handle the ball. Seems like she can go either way with the basketball and finish at the rim. She has a very, very bright future here for Frederick Douglass.
And the free throw in as the lead grows to 2.
Again, Henry Clay's ability to hit the three-point shot, they're never really out of the game.
And a rebound scooped up by Miller. As Henry Clay looking for the lead on a made 3. Wade took it right to the teeth of that defense and lost it out of bounds.
Chris, she doesn't play like a 7th grader. She's not scared. She's not scared of the moment, not scared of the big shot.
Let's see how Douglas massages this press. As it's poked away some length by Van Meter. And Bennett finds Baker in the corner. And Henry Clay with a rebound and leak out as Tamari Miller drives. And Baker caused the duress at that end. And a held ball. Arrow with Douglas. A lot going on that sequence with no points.
A lot of action here. The nickname for this facility, they call this the farm. I guess because this used to be a horse farm out here. It's my first time out on the farm in this role.
You just now getting that memo, Murray?
I'm just getting the memo.
Going to be deflected out in Henry Clay possession.
Great respect for the principal and administration out here at Frederick Douglass, Mr. Lester Diaz.
This ball game is tightened. Douglas once led by 8. They led by 5 after 1. And Henry Clay making some big plays, with the exception of that one as Miller was stripped. Now Gregonis finds Rhodes, will tee one up.
You cannot leave her open.
Rhodes in double figures with 10. Jaylene Knowles has 9. And Douglas back with a 5-point lead. Now Van Meter in the far corner. Nice cut, and Sutton off the mark. Did Knowles get away with steps?
He got away.
That's going to be Bronco ball.
Happened. Everybody in the gym saw that but the referee. The entire Henry Clay bench stood up to their feet.
Yeah, occurred right in front. Oh, my. Inbound in heavy congestion. And Baker, the beneficiary that couldn't knock it in. And an arrow will route it back to Henry Clay.
Knowles has got to learn that when she gets that offensive rebound, she's got to keep it up high in order to keep it away from the defenders. Timeout by Frederick Douglass.
So a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. 2:05 left in the first half. Back after this on Glycod.
The reason I went to Traditional Bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product's based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name's Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball from Glycod.
Chris LeBar Murray Garvin back at the Farm Broncos, hanging on to a 5-point lead against a pesky Henry Clay unit.
Yeah, Henry Clay has fought. You know, having Darrington out of the game for Douglass has given them an opportunity to stay in this game, and they've done a pretty good job of capitalizing. Just missed a couple of open looks, but they're hanging around, and they're a very dangerous basketball team.
See what Henry Clay can do in the half court here out of the timeout.
Well, it's a great coaching move by Moberly. He come out and changed up the defense and went into a 2-3 zone. I'm not sure Henry Clay was expecting that. Looked like they drew something up for man-to-man.
Miller inside the line. Van Meter, 1 of 5 unofficially from 3 with a miss. And the Broncos with a rebound. That's Gregonis. Back to Rhodes, the trailer. Ella Bolden tries to clean it up underneath. And it's going to squirt right back to Darrington. Excuse me, that's Knowles, I beg your pardon.
Knowles.
And a Henry Clay foul.
Well, right there, the rebounding again is playing a factor. Coach Gerard knew that it would be, and Frederick Douglass has exploited them on the offensive glass. Henry Clay's got to box out, and Frederick Douglass, they got to learn to keep the ball high. Keep the ball high and don't bring it down to the guards.
Knowles now with 10. She'll match Rhodes' figure of 10.
Now it looks like Douglass has switched to a 3-2 zone with Knowles up top.
Inside the teeth of that defense, and Johnson travels.
Took a little extra step there. It's the right idea to get the ball to the high post. That's the soft spot of the zone. They were just not able to convert, and again, Douglass forced a turnover.
Broncos with 5 in succession to grow this lead to 7 as Rhodes finds herself wide open underneath.
It's a nice set play by Frederick Douglass. They X'd off of Knowles up top. Sprung Rhodes open for a layup.
38 seconds left, and a kicked ball as possession will stay with Henry Clay. Coming up at half, we'll have a look at your first half highlights and update the score ticker. Several other games ongoing tonight in Central Kentucky. And we'll also preview the boys' 7:30 tip between Montgomery County and Frederick Douglass, the home opener for both genders tonight here on the farm.
Wouldn't be surprised here if Henry Clay tries to hold for the last shot of the half.
Now Sutton inside the zone and threw it right to Baker. Now Gregonis floats it over to Rhodes. And a nice rebound by Miller, who'll spin out of it and take it 1-on-2. And a bailout foul on Baker.
The trailing referee saw that foul. He was a little bit beyond half court, but I never questioned referees when I coached. If they called it, it's a foul. Move on to the next play.
But you can question it up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Referees are like your spouse. They're always right.
That's good to know. Off the mark from Tamari Miller. Only a 32% foul shooter on the year in the early segment of the season.
It would have been nice to try to get 2 free throws and then end the half right here.
And the rebound out of bounds. Looked like touched last by Knowles.
It's a forgotten skill to box out, you know. It's something that you have to teach every day, and it's something that young athletes, they really don't like it because it's physical contact, and most people don't want to believe that basketball is a contact sport.
Blue Devils inbound with 3 seconds is Sutton. Van Meter off in time, and that's going to close the first half. Frederick Douglass 35, Henry Clay 26. We'll step aside back to the farm after this on Glycod.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
With Fast Signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by IBEW Local 369. Find out about their apprenticeship and training programs that help you earn while you learn at IBEWLocal369.com. IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential.
Halftime on the farm. Frederick Douglass leading Henry Clay in girls basketball action 35-26. Broncos led by 5 after 1, and the lead swells to 9 at the half. But Henry Clay has been in this game. Blue Devils trailed by 2 with about 3 minutes left in the first half, and the Broncos go on a little bit of a run to grow this lead to 9. So the Broncos lead by 9, and coming up In the nightcap, it'll be Montgomery County, and the boys coached by Jason Mays. And Murray and I will talk much more about Coach Mays during that stream, as certainly the former Ashland Blazer head coach making his first ever appearance here at the Farm as coach of Montgomery County. We'll talk about that matchup in depth, and that will tip in the vicinity of 7:30. Some individual numbers in this game for the Broncos. Nia Rhodes off the bench with 12 points, leading all scorers. Jaylee Knowles has 11. McKaylee Bennett with 6. 4 points for Ayanna Darrington. And Kate Baker has chipped in 2. For Henry Clay, all points unofficial. 7th grader Tamia Wade with 5. Emily Johnson has 7. 4 for Ariana Sutton. 4 also for Allie Stone. And 5 for Lydia Van Meter. So halftime here, Frederick Douglass leading 35-26. And more coverage of Central Kentucky high school basketball when we come right back on Glycod.
The reason I went to Traditional Bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product's based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name's Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
Gen Z is a stalled generation. The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve, and by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job. You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball from Glycod.
Back live at Frederick Douglass. Now for a look at your first half stats presented by Traditional Bank. Who you bank with matters. Broncos +8 on the backboard. They're also shooting 57%. Henry Clay, 4 of 13 from 3, and that is certainly a huge part of their offensive arsenal, their ability to make three-point shots, and certainly they're going to continue to shoot them in the second half. They're going to have to make some more to get back in this game. Halftime, Broncos lead Henry Clay 35-26. 35-26, second half on our way back from Glycod.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball from Glycod.
With Murray Garvin, I'm Chris Labar as we welcome you back to Frederick Douglass. Broncos lead Henry Clay 35-26 at the half. Murray, what's your observation of the first two quarters?
When Darrington went out of the game, I thought it kind of equaled the playing field for Henry Clay. Frederick Douglass settled down there at the end of the half and extended the lead to 9. So it'll be interesting to see what we get in the second half when Darrington comes back into the game.
Some additional numbers. Sutton with 6 points, both her and Wade. Now we're handed the official stats. So Sutton and Wade each with 6 for Henry Clay. Emily Johnson has 5. 4 points for Allison Stone. Lydia Van Meter 3. Tamari Miller with a field goal. Nia Rhodes leading all scores with 12 for Douglas. Jaylee Knowles has 11. McKaylee Bennett 6. Ayanna Darrington 4. And 2 points for Kate Baker.
Yeah, Douglas has a great inside-out punch with both of the big girls in the middle, and then with Rhodes, one of the top perimeter shooters in all of the state last season, gives them a threat that a lot of teams just don't have. And, again, the second half with both girls back on the floor, let's see if Henry Clay can withstand the opening segment of this third quarter.
Really important series for them to get back in this game. They are in the game to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, you want to get in striking distance. Again, the way that they shoot the ball from the perimeter, it could be 3 possessions. They're right back in it. You just don't want to get it extended too much, because I don't see a big drop-off when Douglas goes to their bench.
Broncos trying to make it 7 of 8 in this series, as Frederick Douglass will inbound to start.
Baker does a good job of running the team and trying to get them in their set actions there. You can see that they're helping off and doubling down on the girls on the block. They don't want Darrington to get a look.
And Darrington tried to receive that pass from Knowles, who threw it away. It's gobbled up on the backside by Johnson as Henry Clay tries to get it a bit narrow. Sutton lines up a 3. And chased down in the corner, that's Allie Stone. And just like that, Darrington, that's the Knowles, called for the foul. No, it's Darrington.
It's Darrington. Yeah, her third foul right there. Right. 40 seconds into the third quarter, she picks up her third foul. I think Coach Moberly is going to let her stay on the floor.
As Miller will have it for the Blue Devils.
Nice ball movement by Henry Clay.
Off the mark from Allie Stone. Offensive rebound, Miller. And Sutton lines it in.
The best time for a three-point shot is usually off an offensive rebound, because all the defense is in the paint, and they got the kick out for the open 3 from Sutton.
Henry Clay's 5th made 3 in this game as Knowles spins in the lane. Poked away. Nice overplay by Sutton. And Sutton underneath the basket. And here comes Frederick Douglass. And Darrington sets it up for the basket as it's put in by Maxwell.
That was a big trip down the floor for Henry Clay. If they could have converted right there.
Stone off the window. And Ayanna Darrington corrals the rebound. And back is Sutton to poke it out of bounds.
I know I sound like a broken record about her rebounding and bringing the ball on the break, but that is just a matchup problem, and it allows your guards to get out and run the floor when your big can handle the ball like that.
Corner three by Rose while you were away. Could not steer that in. And Bennett finds Baker up top. And off the basket support. And a Henry Clay possession.
Both teams do a good job of sharing the basketball. I admire that about both programs. It tells you that they're well coached and all they're really concerned about is the score on the scoreboard and not who's getting the points in the scorebook.
Wade getting a lot of clock for Henry Clay in this game. Now Wade across the timeline. Extra pass in the corner. Sutton swerving to the basket.
Again, 4 Henry Clay players touched the ball in that possession, led by the young phenom, Wade, who broke the pressure and got it down.
And Rhodes with an answer, her 14th point. As every time Henry Clay gets close, Rhodes seems to get a nice response.
Absolutely. She has stepped up big this game for Frederick Douglass.
Stone with an and one.
Count the basket. She'll go to the line for one.
Foul on Kate Baker.
You just see a different level of confidence when Darrington is out of the game. Henry Clay is not shy about driving it to the rim.
Five-point Bronco advantage as Bennett finds the trailer Knowles. That's a long three in, and Maxwell puts it down.
Big shot by Maxwell. Those are points I don't know if Douglas expects to get, and to get that shot in that possession was huge for Frederick Douglass.
Three fouls already as you take another glimpse at Maxwell with a big made triple. And Henry Clay floats it off the rim, and a Bronco foul as Wade got to the cylinder.
We're going to have to remember her name. I think she's going to be a player that opponents are going to have to deal with for years to come. Only being in 7th grade and having the poise and the skill level to come out here and not only be on the court but impact the game.
Some really good young players on both these squads.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed with both teams.
Dragonis in for the Broncos as Bennett will shuttle out. And Henry Clay within striking distance.
There's a sideline break for the layup right there. You don't get to see that often in high school basketball anymore, and it gets me excited as a former coach to see sideline break executed.
There's Miller underneath, and Miller puts it in. Her first field goal, that was Maxwell's preceding basket, her 7th point this quarter for the Broncos.
Great job switch by Henry Clay on the ball screen right there.
Now Knowles spinning in. Lost her footing, and a Henry Clay foul.
Again, the young lady goes either way with the basketball, really makes her hard to guard with her length and athleticism. Again, another young player here in the 42nd District, 11th Region, that we're going to see for years to come.
Gets the roll. This Bronco team, their schedule, we'll show you that a little bit later on. They're really going to be tested this winter with some difficult games.
Well, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Coach Moberly said he doesn't shy away from competition, and he wants to get his girls on the main stage. And here in the state of Kentucky, Frederick Douglass has already set a precedent of being one of the athletic powers in the state of Kentucky, not only in girls basketball, but in football, boys basketball, and across the board.
Boys soccer strong as well.
Absolutely.
Just introduced a new head coach earlier this week. Rebound backside for the Blue Devils. That shot off from Miller. And Knowles so in control. She drives to the bucket seeking a foul, and Henry Clay with a run out as Miller snowbirds and puts it in.
Knowles missed the layup very bad and converted into an easy basket for Henry Clay. And
Stone, oh my, everything but the basket. That was Elizabeth Nelson, that missed that one. Now Rhodes, big one.
She can flat out shoot the ball, Chris.
Her threes tonight have been so timely. And the lead back to 9. And a turnover, a live ball turnover as Knowles accelerates. She's got 13. Anna Henry Clay, pause. The lead is swollen to 11. We're back after this on Glycod.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball from Glycod.
Take a look at the upcoming Bronco slate. Big tournament here next week. The LexCath tournament, the WGM Ortho Classic, and then a 3-game trek at Charleston before January 3rd, a home matchup here against Sayre.
Now going down to the beautiful city of Charleston, South Carolina. I was able to take our Dunbar Bulldog basketball team down to Charleston, and I lived in South Carolina for about 15, 16 years. It's one of the most beautiful places in one of my favorite places to visit. Charleston, great cuisine. If you're a shrimp and grits guy, I advise you to go visit Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, the basketball isn't bad as well.
Basketball isn't bad. The basketball and the weather. You can't beat 65, 70 degrees in December.
This is a big stretch here for Henry Clay as they try to get back within single digits. Van Meter, the press offense over to Johnson.
Henry Clay, they want to try to reverse the ball to the other side of the court. It's been stuck on that left side of the court for a majority of the possession.
Yeah, Sutton on the move. Rose got a hand in to knock it out.
Looked like Coach Gerard drew up what I call elevator doors and also leaves Sutton isolated.
As Johnson will inbound underneath.
Nice shot fake.
Baseline jumper, got the roll.
Van Meter went down, looked like she stepped on the opponent's foot there, kind of twisted her ankle, but she popped up.
As Van Meter will hobble off, as Emily Johnson now will face guard for Henry Clay in a 9-point Bronco advantage. Basket by Elizabeth Nelson on that last play for the Blue Devils.
It seems like this game, for most of the game, has been around 8 or 9 points. 8 or 9 points. Henry Clay just stays around.
Now Baker double teamed, and pick your poison there on that near sideline. Will be whistled on Johnson. Third foul for her, second this frame on the Blue Devils.
They want to try to keep Rhodes from getting an open look right here. A little confusion by Douglas on what they want on the offensive end. sideline warning on Coach Mobley. I believe he was coaching his girls a little too hard. Referee wanted them to step off the court. They almost ran into each other.
Well, he's been known to get intense during ball games, that's for certain. As Frederick Douglass leads by 9 as Rhodes inside the teeth of that defense. There's Knowles. Nice take.
Nice move.
Follow off, and Johnson under heavy duress with a rebound. Miller down the pike. Everything but the basket, the follow off. And out of the scrum come the Broncos. And stolen. That was Nelson, the beneficiary. Now Nelson double dribbled.
Double dribble.